Excellent fishing on the Pegasus last night and early Saturday morning as they had over 50 bluefin tuna. Here's one of the bigger models they caught. Actually, most of the fish were in the 30-pound class, and they were fishing 100 miles from San Diego. Here's a close-up of exactly what this fish was taken on. Great fishing on the Pegasus, hit and miss for the fleet. We'll keep you informed. Megan Montes was on board the Redondo Special and shot this incredible video of a huge Pacific octopus. You know, Pacific octopuses have 9 brains, 1 big one, and 8 smaller satellite brains. Now I'm jealous. The deckhand on board the Redondo Special was so kind as to open the door, proving chivalry is not dead. Really an incredible sight on board the Redondo Special out of Redondo Sport Fishing yesterday as this giant Pacific octopus gains its freedom. And Ross is from the Fibbers Fishing Club in Southern California, and he's fished all over the place. But he was recently up in Monterey, and he called it the best lingcod and rock fishing he's ever encountered. He was on the Checkmate out of Chris's Landing in Monterey. He said none of the lings were under 12 pounds, 2 weighed in at 28 pounds, and there were copious amounts of colorful and great-eating rockfish to go along with it. Dan Ross says he'll never forget the experience and can't wait to go back again. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome here to Surfside, California. It's a gorgeous, beautiful morning. There's very little wind. The sun actually looks like it's going to peek out of this overcast sky here very, very soon, and it's the day before Father's Day. So get ready for a big day tomorrow, no question about it. We have got a lot to talk about. In fact, you saw it when we came into today's show, this morning's morning briefing, as you saw some great nighttime fishing on board the Pegasus. Several boats really got all over the bluefin tuna, and there's some good daytime fishing going on. Also, we'll talk about that. We'll go south of the border, talk a little bit about the Ensenada bite, that giant octopus on the deck of the Redondo Special. Man, are we privy to some of the most unique and gorgeous spectacles of nature being fishermen. We are so blessed and so lucky. And of course, we've got Catalina Island, some big yellows for the Thunderbird yesterday at San Clemente Island. Great halibut fishing and some giant sea bass in the Channel Islands. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. And hey, I've got to stop for a moment and thank all of you who have sent Eddie Leland a birthday card or good wishes. Captain Eddie Leland is battling cancer right now, and he needs to be lifted up. His birthday is June the 22nd. You can send me an email, and I'll get it to Eddie. Make sure he gets it. walkwithphil@gmail.com. Send that to me, and we will get it over to Eddie. Really wonderful response from all of you. We are getting so many cards in, and I cannot thank you enough. And I can't thank you enough for all of your great support. Our statistics are through the roof. We are going crazy here at Friedman Adventures, all thanks to all of you who tune in every morning, who watch our live shows, who watch our fishing videos, who get caught up during the daytime on our shorts when we have 30-second snippets about the best fishing going on. In fact, we've already had 3 of those, some curious stuff and some informative stuff. So I can't thank you enough. All right, let's get into it, my friends, because tomorrow is Father's Day. Incidentally, there is a grunion run. Just thought I would put that together for you. Have a grunion run on Father's Day evening. So that's something you might think about doing with the kids or you doing with Dad. That should be a lot of fun. All right, weather is going to become an issue here. It's still kind of windy and choppy offshore right now, and we're going to be dealing with that if the forecast is correct for about a week now. We've got some breezy, choppy, windy weather, but that did not stop those bluefin tuna from biting for the Pegasus last night. Great trip for the Pegasus going on right now. Those boys have been all over it. In fact, you see one large fish coming on board, but most of them were about 30-pounders. They were about 93 miles from home. They've been moving around a lot, and the fishing for the fleet I would describe as hit and miss with some really excellent hits. Polaris Supreme, he's got limits of bluefin tuna for 2 of his first 3 days, just walloping the fish. Some of those long-range boys were on top of it. Limits of bluefin tuna. And then there were some other guys who missed. So I don't want to tell you that every single boat is getting them, but fishing is pretty darn good right now for a lot of the boys who consistently get on it. Remember, that metered line is so important. When the captain says drop to 300 feet, 400 feet, 500 feet, whatever it is, you need to drop to that exact depth If you do that over and over again, your success ratio is going to go through the roof, and you'll do much better by doing that. So some excellent fishing going on for many of the boys. The Highliner is down there with our friend Jolene Thompson. I'm glad I kept this. I guess my voice is not totally back to normal. Jolene is a dear friend of the Friedman Adventures family. She's on the Highliner. We'll be watching her very, very closely to see how she indeed does. All right, the Mission Bell. Did you see that crazy video that we put up in a short? There was a bluefin tuna caught that was missing a good part of its head. Obviously, it had been gaffed before. The gaff pulled out, but the thing continued to thrive and feed, and it came with a free knife jig. That was pretty crazy. Mission Bell, again, nice day yesterday. 5 bonita, 15 bluefin tuna. Those are boats that leave in the morning, come back that very same day. On board the San Diego, they were out, and they ended up with 4 bluefin tuna yesterday. Kind of hit and miss right now on that local scene, but there are fish around. Grande 17 bluefin tuna on those full day trips. So there's some stuff around, and you once in a while will find a kelp patty holding some of that 5 to 10 pound yellowtail. 40-pound fly line bait using 40-pound fluorocarbon was the way to go. I'd also have some lighter stuff, but you know, these fish are mostly 30-pounders, but you do run into some fish that are up over 100. And I get it, man. You really don't want to hook those on 25. So if you can get bit on the 40, go for it. If you're having trouble, you might want to drop down just a little bit lighter. I would defer to the crew, though. If they say, you're out of your mind, don't go to 25. Listen to those guys, okay? They know what they're talking about. Choosing a good hot bait, as always, makes all the difference in the world. New Loan, 100 bluefin tuna on a 2-day trip. So there's some scores going on. A lot of that, I want to call it 20 to 40-pound bluefin tuna, but still that sizable fish is a great possibility, and you want to make sure you got a 2-speed reel with 100 to 130 pound on it to make sure you are ready to go. All right, so we're watching that very closely. Same thing down in Ensenada. The guys down there, the Pongueros, Blackfin, they're out on Battle of the Pongas today. We'll see how that all works out, but they're trolling Mad Mac lures around with great success in several different areas. And there's a wide area of bluefin tuna right now in choppy, windier seas. So once again, really good signal, really good sign. The water continues to warm. I think we're about a month behind in our conditions, the water being much cooler this year. And as things warm up and things settle down, it's going to get better and better and better. You're going to see an incredible summer and an incredible fall, and I'm telling you, probably winter when that El Nino starts to affect us. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that and so much more. Let's bounce you up and talk about San Clemente Island, where the Thunderbird had 30 yellows yesterday out of Davies Locker in Newport Beach to 36 pounds. There was some fat ones yesterday. You know, some days you catch the smaller grade over there at San Clemente Island, and then this day on the Thunderbird, wow, big fish for Captain Jeff Markland. Great fishing on that big grade fish. Yo-yo iron, dropper loop, surface iron, fly line. It's different every single day at SCI. Some days they bite and some days they don't. Some days the sea lions drive you nuts. Some days they're playing poker somewhere else or doing something else. So once again, really nice day on board the Thunderbird. Several other boats over there getting a piece of that yellowtail also. There's always rockfish to fall back on, so that is also very, very nice. And that would be a fun way to spend Father's Day, to be on there. Catalina Island, we get the occasional sea bass and yellowtail. We get some decent bonita fishing, a little bit of bass here and there. Nate Ballesteros, there he is, holding up a couple of gorgeous sculpin. He was on the Enterprise yesterday. Enterprise stopped, loaded everybody up with sculpin. Everybody's got great table fare. Went to Catalina, caught a couple of yellows, had some good bonita fishing. Nate had a really good time. I can see by his post in Facebook that he's the kind of guy that's going to enjoy whatever happens on a fishing trip, and that's the way to have a great trip every single time you go out. So that's what's going on in that neck of the woods. Santa Barbara Island, I know some private guys who've been out there. It's hit and miss, but man, there's been some good halibut and sea bass fishing out there also. It's such a small island, it's susceptible to boat pressure. A lot of guys have been laying off it, but some boys have been out there conking them. They want me to keep my mouth shut, so I won't go any further. Channel Islands, we continue to see some really good halibut fishing at times. Yesterday, the Mirage, 33 halibut. or the day before, yesterday, they had only one halibut. So you can see it's kind of up and down right now. The Sea Biscuit, a couple of halibut, Cobra 4 halibut, Aloha Spirit. Joe Sarmiento was on board, and they had fabulous halibut fishing. Caught some sheepshead and bass. Didn't get the white sea bass like they wanted to, but they had a fabulous time with Sean Stewart on the Aloha Spirit. The Island Spirit fished deep water rock cod out of Ventura Harbor sport fishing, and they ended up with great table fare for all their anglers. Ventura Harbor sport fishing is one of our favorites here at Friedman Adventures. They have the half-day boat, Californian, running out fishing half day, obviously, but they'll be out on Father's Day. And if you're a kid, 12 and under, you go for free with a paid adult on Sundays on board the California. And of course, the Endeavor with that 71.6 pound white sea bass the other day. They are enjoying some good halibut fishing this morning. Don't have the numbers yet, but it sounds really, really good. 805-676-3474 to get on board with those guys. Our local bite, well, man, you gotta love that giant octopus on board the Redondo Special yesterday. Megan Montes shot the video, provided it, and man, that is an extraordinary sight. Again, one of those things that we get to see as anglers in the ocean's environment when we're out there. Man, I'm telling you, the sun is coming out. This is really novel for Southern California in 2023. We haven't seen it, and it's looking like it's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day. So we'll keep our eyes on that. Rockfish sculpin up and down our coast. A little bit more calico bass down there at Dana Wharf Sport Fishing. Good rockfish down there in San Diego. Premier, several other boats all over it on the local scene. Water's starting to warm up, and that only means that the calicos are going to start to bite. And I suspect, should I say it? Barracuda this weekend. Somebody is going to get a score of over 30 barracuda on a local boat. I'm talking from San Diego to the Channel Islands. We've had the signal down there in Ensenada. They're catching good barracuda there. We've had a sprinkling of it here. The local area is not going to get that wind that they're going to get further offshore. This is the weekend, Father's Day weekend, when the barracuda show in Southern California. So I can have egg on my face, not only on my albacore predictions, but now the barracuda predictions also. All right, my friends, thanks again. Thanks for all you're doing for Eddie Leland. He really needs your love and support, prayers, and an email, walkwithphil@gmail.com. Send that out to me today, and I'll hand deliver it to Eddie before his birthday on June the 22nd. All right, thanks again, everybody. Really appreciate you spending time with me on this beautiful Saturday morning, and I hope to see you really, really soon.